You're listening to another episode of the Just Go Bike podcast. That's AKA Murph.
And that's AP. And this is the podcast where we talk about cycling just for the fun of it. With tales from all over the nation, come for the bikes, stay for the fun, and leave with a smile. Well, hey, AP.
Hi, Murph.
It's a big week.
It's a big week, and we're kicking it off in a big way as we record here live together.
At RAGBRAI headquarters, or dare I say, Parrot Talk Studios.
Well, they are one and the same.
It's a beautiful space. It's mid to late January of 2024, and something big is happening this weekend.
You got it. The RAGBRAI Route Announcement Party is right around the corner.
Woohoo!
Yeah, and the Iowa Bike Expo, which precedes it.
Yes, and to talk about both, we have Mr. Matt Phippen, the executive director, and also Luke Hoffman, who runs the Iowa Bicycle Coalition. But first, let's talk to Mr. Phippen. Hey, Matt.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good. Great to have you here on the podcast.
It's great to be here.
And to be in your home here
at
RAGBRAI headquarters.
Yep, this is home.
Okay, so Andrea, give the listeners the overall scoop on when the RAGBRAI Route Announcement Party happens, where it's at, all that good stuff, and then let's find out from Matt a few things.
Yeah, I'll tell you everything, but if you want to fact check me or look it up later, you can find everything you need to know on ragbrai.com or on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/RAGBRAI. So the RAGBRAI Route Announcement Party is, as we record, it's this Saturday, which is the 27th of January. It's from 6 to 10 p.m. and you can buy tickets online right now, or if you stop by and see us at the Iowa Bike Expo, you'll be able to buy tickets all day if you'd like to attend in person.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so it's an amazing time. It's going to be a good time. Like I said, it starts at 6 p.m. Everybody comes in. There'll be appetizers. There'll be free beer as long as it lasts, and then there'll be beer that you could buy. So look, we got beer. By Big Grove. It's going to be awesome.
Also at the Route Announcement Party, will there be the silent auction that Iowa Bicycle Coalition benefits from?
There sure will be. And there's going to be all sorts of really cool things, including Donald Call's original bicycle.
Whoa.
That was custom built for him. It says RAGBRAI on it, custom decal. It's really cool.
Wow. I'd like to see Matt Phippen pedaling that before we auction it off or give it away.
I would love to own that bike.
I know.
It'd look good in my house. My wife would murder me, but
yeah.
Awesome.
It was fully refurbished by Jeff Bach, who does incredible custom cycles. It's a beautiful bike. You have to look it up if you haven't seen it.
Wow. Okay. So location is downtown Des Moines. We already know the time. We know the date. What happens at this party?
We announce the route. We tell RAGBRAI Nation where we are going.
In 2024. Oh my gosh, this is super exciting. And this is RAGBRAI 51, right? So we all survived RAGBRAI 50 with the massive crowds and the heat and the high mileage. So is route planning still happening for you, Matt, or is it done?
Yeah, route planning is ongoing until roughly June.
Okay.
We ride on bikes in June for pre-ride, and that's kind of the last time we would ever make changes to it. The good news is all the overnight towns are locked in, so they're good to go, so we know exactly where we're going to be sleeping every night.
Do you want to tell us right now?
I would love to tell you right now, but I'm not going to.
I almost got him, listeners.
Nope,
I almost got him. Okay.
But no, they're planning behind the scenes right now, keeping it quiet, because obviously we have to announce. We don't want it to get leaked. But if you go on social media, there is a lot of RAGBRAI ride directors spilling the route, thinking that they know where they go, and some are not even in the same state that we are riding our bike, and some are close. But
it is funny how confident everyone is that they know where we're going.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of detectives. They're doing a lot of behind the scenes work. They're calling towns and looking at council meeting, notices and things like that, trying to figure out if they can find anything. But
wow, that's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
I mean, I don't really, I'm excited to learn what the route is, but I'm going to do RAGBRAI no matter what.
Oh,
so
sure.
for me, it's like, okay, I'm excited anyway.
Well, look, I love the dedication and the passion of these RAGBRAI sleuths.
Yeah.
Like, nice try out of them. But the fact of the matter is that if Phipp wanted to pull one over on us, he could change the route the day of the route announcement.
Exactly.
Oh,
and
my.
so, if you think you know the route, you don't know it for sure. Only Phipp knows for sure.
We will not know until that happens. So that brings me to the next question. How will people at the party actually find out the route? What's the form of of them?
So we have a runner show. We're creating another video. I think the video last year was very, very well received. Mm-hmm. With the size of the hall, we've kind of gone back and forth on, do we live stream it? Do we not? We've partnered with a third party. We are going to live stream it, which I think that was something we missed last year. Mm-hmm. So know that we're going to do it. Know that some parts might be hard to hear, so I don't want to see people on social media saying I can't hear what he's saying. But we're doing our best. But there will be a way to stream it if you can't make it in there. But yeah, we created a video last Friday. I can't wait to see the video. I think it's going to be a home run. Because at the end of the day, they don't want stuff on the stage. They want to know where they're going. Now it's time to drink beer, party with the band, and start their training.
And I'd like to say shout out to Jabbermouth, who's doing the video and the live streaming. They've, by all accounts, done a really awesome job. I haven't seen the video yet, but I've heard it's really good. And thanks to Scott Siepker, who's doing the narration on the video. So if you'd like to tune in to the live stream, tune into facebook.com/RAGBRAI. That is the only place it's going to be live streaming. We've had some issues with spam. You will never have to click away to a third-party site. You do not have to pay for the live stream. You just head over to our Facebook page, and it'll be right there for you, right at the top of the page. And it starts at 8 p.m.
Awesome. And okay, so route is announced, and then after the people that are actually at the event, you will have entertainment, right?
We sure will. We're going to have a new to RAGBRAI band called the Bad Friends.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I've been working with them ahead of time to get some promotional material ready, and they're actually kind of good friends. But look, they play good music. It's a really fun cover band. They're the perfect tone for RAGBRAI. You're going to love them.
Awesome. And then we have to do a quick plug for Just Go Bike, because not only will AP and I be at the expo all day long, interviewing people, walking around, signing autographs, I don't know, posing
Pictures,
for photos,
what celebrities do,
hugging babies, drinking free beer if we can,
shaking hands, accepting adoration. Yeah, everything you got it all.
Okay, and I digress. Anyway, and then in the evening, after the actual route is announced and Matt does his cheers on stage, we will be live streaming, interviewing Matt, interviewing probably Luke for the Bike Coalition, along with some of the representatives from the communities.
Come tune in again at about 8:50 after the route announcement, and again, it'll be right there on our Facebook page, just at the top of the page, and you'll see me and Murph mugging, giving those town info, talking to the towns, talking to Matt, talking to Luke, just celebrating the route that we've just learned.
Yes, exciting. And let's backtrack a little bit. Matt, last year, at least you and I were live in person riding our bikes via Zwift, RAGBRAI Zwift ride. Will you be doing that again?
I think we will. We created a event page. It's on our socials. I think we have pushing 100 people right now, I think is what I saw this morning. But yeah, it's just a great way for me to ride a bike before everything that morning, obviously ride with you. Yeah, we'll do that, at the expo space before it opens up, and, kind of get out of there before everybody else shows up. But yeah, just a great way for riders to think they can get the route out of me, and they won't. So don't even try.
I tried last year. Remember I said, can you tell us the route?
So did everybody else. But no, it's just, we have a Zwift page that we have riders that follow us, and it's just a way to kind of kick off the weekend with a morning group ride, and then everything kind of just unfolds after that.
And just to be clear, you two will be riding in person, but if anyone else would like to join, it'll be virtual. There's a virtual link, and there's an event page off of our Facebook.
Absolutely.
And what time does that happen?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. And so if you're listening to this and you are a Zwift rider, you can easily join the event, and then you can Zwift away from your home. If you don't know what Zwift is, when this podcast is over, just go ahead and Google it. It's basically an indoor training game type thing where you're an avatar and you get a workout using your trainer at home. Or me and Matt, maybe Corey will join us. Maybe Scott. I don't know who will join us.
Close together.
Yeah, if you're in Des Moines, you can come and ride with us virtually, but in real life.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Burn off a little steam. Enjoy the bike.
Good.
Just go bike.
Just go bike. Yeah. So tell us again where people can get registered if they choose to come to the RAGBRAI Route Party, but also maybe if they want to register for the ride.
You can find it all at ragbrai.com. It's all there. And it's right there in the little menu bar. You'll see it in the sliders, but it's also in the menu bar. You can find it right there.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you so much for being on the pod. And let's see if we can grab Luke to talk a little bit about the expo that happens during the day. It's time for a training tip. Let's talk strength training. The goal of strength training for cycling is to enhance performance and reduce the risk of injuries. Here are just a few ideas that do not require anything more than your time. Squats and lunges. They're excellent choices as they target the muscles used in cycling, and they engage multiple muscle groups at the same time. Strengthening your core is another area of focus that will make you a better biker. Core strength is essential for stability and efficient power transfer when you're on the bike. Planks or good old sit-ups are good examples. Along with core strength is balance and stability. Add some exercises to your routine like one-legged squats. They'll contribute to better bike handling skills. How about yoga? Even once a week, yoga will help you with flexibility and ease up some of those tight muscles. Whether your goal is to become a stronger rider, or maybe you just want to be able to bike more miles in a single ride, all of these ideas can help you become a more confident and stronger rider. And it all starts with a bit of focus, a bit of time, and taking action. Tailor your strength training routine to whatever complements your cycling schedule. Start with small steps and gradually increase the intensity as your cycling fitness improves. If you put in the effort and time now, you'll see the benefits when it's time to ride. Now back to the show. All right, a warm welcome back to Luke Hoffman, Executive Director for the Iowa Bicycle Coalition. Hey, Luke.
Hey, how's it going, Murph? Thanks
Good.
for having me back.
Yeah, it's great to have you back. I've been seeing a lot of amazing things that you've been doing at the Iowa Bicycle Coalition since you stepped on board. So it's great to have you back and be able to talk to you about some upcoming events.
Yeah, really excited. I think we spoke maybe back in October. I started officially back on October 1st, and as many of your listeners will have seen all of the ads and the flurry of activity, us getting our arms around the expo and the route announcement party and all these other exciting things that happen this time of the year, RAGBRAI registration opening and just all of these things that happen this time of year. So we've been really knee deep in that stuff and really excited to share some of the exciting updates, some of the stuff that we would have expected, some new things that maybe you weren't expecting. So all really good stuff.
Yeah. And I have several things I want to bring up, but the reason that you're on the podcast today is to specifically talk about the Iowa Bike Expo. All of this happens on January 27th and of 2024. So the Iowa Bicycle Coalition actually is responsible for the Iowa Bike Expo. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. And the most exciting thing to me is that we're going to be celebrating our 20th anniversary year going into, so right now we are celebrating that. And so at the expo, this is kind of the launch of that special branding there. You're going to be seeing the 20th anniversary branding, which maybe some of your folks who are on the emails have seen a sneak preview of, but just highlighting that us as an organization, 20 years old, the last time the expo had this much energy and excitement, if looking back at Bike Iowa's kind of history, was back in 2014 for the 10-year anniversary. I think we sold it out at about 120 vendors was the last time the expo had this much kind of energy and momentum around it. So really excited to announce that we have over 130 vendors this year for the 20th. We, of course, had to make it the biggest and the best one yet. And so lots of really cool stuff, lots of really cool vendors that are going to be coming.
Good. And before we talk about the expo specifically, will you give maybe your elevator speech for what the Iowa Bicycle Coalition actually is? Yeah,
so we're a statewide nonprofit organization, the only statewide nonprofit organization that's working in Iowa on behalf of the whole cycling community to advocate, to educate, and to build community. Those are our organizational values. Specifically, we're the only one at the legislature working for you as a cyclist to work on roadway safety, sharing the road, ride right, protecting cyclists as it relates to, specifically our biggest bill is hands-free, which is protecting, people from distracted driving on the road. So those kind of things are really our bread and butter. But us as an organization, 20 years strong, really have been working to pass some laws at the state level, at the state house, to protect cyclists and to build community.
And on behalf of all cyclists who are in Iowa or come to Iowa, thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
And one thing to make note, if you're listening and you've been a RAGBRAI rider in the past, something that typically happens on the first day of RAGBRAI is something called the Mile of Silence. And you're responsible for that, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. And, I've ridden RAGBRAI, I think, this will be my 8th year this year. And the first few times I didn't really make the connection. I was aware of the ride, the Mile of Silence that happens on RAGBRAI, but I didn't really piece it together, the connection between our organization and what that was about. And then, so what I look at now in thinking about that is how can we help educate folks to say, it's really important to acknowledge this thing, but this is why we do that. And that's because, of course, there are people who have been impacted by this issue, who have passed away due to being hit by a car or things like that. And so how can we help prevent those kind of things from happening in the future by having better policy?
And I will say that mile, every time I've experienced it, is very impactful. So you're doing things that are very beneficial, to, even if it's just putting a thought in your mind.
Yeah, so. It really does just start with a thought and about, okay, we should be aware of this. And this is something, how could I actually make an impact if I wanted to connect to that?
Right. Okay, so speaking of impact, riders know that in July, RAGBRAI happens, the great bike ride across Iowa. And to kick it off, they have what's called an expo. And it's all these vendors, but it's also like 9,000 degrees. And, everyone's kind of a little bit nervous and excited about being able to ride across Iowa. But there's also an expo that takes place in the middle of winter. And that's what we're talking about now, the Iowa Bike Expo, run by the Iowa Bicycle Coalition. Very similar to the summer one, except we are in a temperature-controlled space and quite a variety of vendors. So do you want to maybe start with location, time, all that good stuff, and then let's get into it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Iowa Bike Expo is held at the Iowa Event Center, which is the largest event space in Iowa. It's on their showroom floor. You can barely see across the entire space when it's empty. And so what we do is we bring in all these booths that can have vendors at them. And we have not just bike retailers. Of course, there's a lot of mainstay bike retailers that you might expect. Of course, there's the coalition and RAGBRAI. But then we have an entire cohort of nonprofit organizations, of community-based organizations, of government-based entities. So the State Patrol will be there. The DOT will be there. A lot of these other organizations who work on apparel for cyclists as well. So just the whole family of the cycling community will be present, and everybody has their own special thing to bring to that family. And so for me, it's an opportunity to build community. That's what the expo is about. And so, with those 130 vendors, I'm really excited to see that all kind of come together at one moment where we can kind of share in that family reunion that we have. And that's what I think of when I think of the expo.
Yeah, for sure. Tell us the hours and how much it costs for people to go.
Yeah, so it's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
on January?
Saturday, January 27th. So this coming Saturday, if you're listening. There's the route announcement party later that evening, so you can go have dinner, come back, participate in that route announcement party. But 10 to 4 at the Iowa Event Center, downtown Des Moines.
And the cost?
And it's free and open to the public, which is really great. We just throw the doors open, no registration even required. Over 5,000 people attend, which is really cool. It is actually the largest expo in the Midwest region.
Nice.
Bike Expo.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be a return for bike parking, free valet parking. So if you want to ride your bike, parking is also free. So there is a cost to park if you drive your car, $12, which you would have to pay at a parking attendant. But if you ride your bike, there is no cost at all. And we will actually help keep your bike safe in a special room that we have designated for bikes.
And it's definitely kind of January 27th is going to be an amazing day anyway, because we'll all find out the route that we'll be on for 2024. But it creates a lot of hype just with the excitement. Like, maybe people haven't really looked at their bike yet, but now they go to the expo, they see all these vendors, they maybe buy a new jersey. Or the other thing I love about the expo is a lot of bike rides are there. So like bike rides maybe that you've never heard of, and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to check this out. Like Raccoon Valley Trail is one that comes to mind from the past. But anyway, so in addition to walking around, seeing all these vendors, I'm assuming, actually I already know, you have entertainment planned. And then also, is there any area for advocacy throughout the day?
Yes. Let me just quickly touch on the rides that you mentioned that. So, of course, the Bacon ride, one of our rides, that'll have a vendor space as part of our space there. We'll be going into its 10-year anniversary, so that's an exciting one. You mentioned the Raccoon River Valley Trail, so that's going to be really, really cool. It's actually the largest bike ride that happens on that trail. So that'll be one of the rides that are featured. And, of course, we have a number of many other organizations, teams, rides. The Iowa Gravel Project will be there. That's another cool one in the ride section. So that's rides. And then there will be stage programming, which we didn't have last year, but we're bringing back from years past, hosted by Captain Roy's and Bike Iowa. So Scott Sumter will be running the show as our MC for the bike or for the programming at the Bike Expo with the stage programming there. And we're gonna have a variety of things. We'll have the jersey contest will be happening at the stage. We will even be hearing from the new Des Moines mayor. Mayor Bozen will be in attendance at noon to come speak. Because transportation is an important issue, so we're engaging her to come. So that's really, really cool. She just took office recently. And then we have the Des Moines area MPO will be on the stage. So a variety of different things will be happening, both entertainment and informational. At 11 o'clock, we have a break in the stage programming to emphasize advocacy. And then downstairs in a breakout room, for those who would like to participate, we have room for about 100 for our what we call district leaders, which is just an opportunity to be a volunteer with the coalition to help talk to people, legislators in your area about the issues that matter to you as a cyclist. So for us, engaging folks in advocacy, we'll provide a free lunch. You can come down to that space in the breakout room at 11. It'll just go 45 minutes, kind of a lunch and learn style format.
Excellent. And is there a cost associated with that?
Totally free.
Woo, this is going to be a fun day.
Yeah, it will be.
And speaking of advocacy, are you going to be doing the, I don't know what it's called, but the bike day at the Capitol again this year?
Yes. So in conjunction with that leaders meeting that we're going to be having, we're going to be asking folks as the first opportunity to advocate is going to be our bike day at the Capitol, which will be Tuesday, January 30th from 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. at the Capitol. We actually have the first floor Rotunda South reserved for that. So all you would have to do if you're hearing this is show up, anytime between 8 and 11 at the Capitol, and then we will set you up with an opportunity to go and speak to legislators about issues that are important to you as a cyclist.
Excellent. And you mentioned earlier that this is the 20th anniversary. So give us some ideas of how you're celebrating or acknowledging 20 years of existence.
Yeah, so one of the really cool, exciting things that we have never done before that just happened the other day, this happened on Sunday at 5 o'clock. We booked a TV ad at the NFL Division Championship game, played right after it, and it was seen by over 60,000 people.
Wow.
Got a lot of texts about that one. That's something we've never done before. We have multiple commercials that play, and this is in the Des Moines area media market on Channel 8. We also have a TV ad that the same ad is playing on WHO, Channel 13, Channel 8, a couple of spots on Colbert Report as well. Two commercials that are playing on that. So overall, that's going to be seen by 500,000 people in the Des Moines area media market, that TV ad alone. And then a number of radio buys as well on the Top 40 station, Radio Iowa, which is a statewide buy. And then a lot, of course, digital ads, which I'm sure most of your viewers have seen multiple times at this point, being reminded why they should come to the Iowa Bike Expo. So just the works, really an all of the above approach, really trying to elevate the organization, celebrating that 20th year mark with something we haven't done before with all of this additional marketing, and then just trying to bring that awareness to people so that they know about the expo, they know there's an opportunity with us to advocate, to educate, to build community.
I love it. Okay, so we've got January 27th, 2024, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., free entry, free bike parking, possibility to go to an advocacy meeting for free. And if you do, free lunch.
That's right. Free. All we ask is your time.
Oh, that's great. And one more thing before we go. I have seen some fabulous, I don't know if you call them recap, of you guys did a tour I think it was last month. Will you briefly touch on that? Because if people haven't seen these videos, they're really awesome.
Yeah, so one of the other exciting things we did to help build some of the hype and energy and enthusiasm around the expo and Route Announcement Party, we went on a statewide bike shop tour of all the bike shops across Iowa. Of course, I want to give a very special shout out to Captain Roy's, Wade Thompson specifically, and to Scott Sumter with Bike Iowa. We could not have accomplished this without them, but we did visit all local bike shops in the state of Iowa, over 80 bike shops over the course of a week.
Wow.
I personally visited, I think, 25 or so bike shops, but I could not have done it alone. And the point was really to not do it alone. The point of a coalition is to do things together.
Right.
So we did it with Scott and Wade and all of our staff, and then all of our board members, and then a number of supporters and volunteers who joined in the fun. And what we did was start Support Your Local Bike Shop Week.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the week of December 11th. And so we got a lot of earned media around that, which was really cool to see, the press paying attention to this. They're like, wow, who would have thought that you would have said, let's go visit all the bike shops and let's do it in December.
And let's do it in a week.
And let's do it in 1 week. They're kind of like, okay, are you sure you want to commit to that? You want us to hit print on that? And I said, yeah, we're committed. So when there's a will, there's a way. And at one point, they're like, do we need to pull back on this? And I was like, no, we need to double down. We're going to find a way. Who can go visit the bike shop in Okoboji? Who do we know in Okoboji who can go visit that bike shop on behalf of the coalition? And we got it done, which is really, really cool. So we filmed that, posted it as a video. You're going to see iteration of that video played at the Route Announcement Party on stage, but then the full video is already online on our Facebook page.
So I could go to your Facebook page right now, find that video, and be able to watch it.
Yep, just at Iowa Bicycle Coalition.
All right. Well, let's say it one more time. When the expo is, time, date. If you can't make it to the expo, how they can find out more information about you.
Yep. Iowa Bicycle Coalition's hosting the Iowa Bike Expo Saturday, January 27th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the downtown Des Moines, Iowa Event Center this Saturday. If you can't make it, maybe you can come later that evening, starting at 6 o'clock to the Route Announcement Party. And then another opportunity, even other than that, would be on Tuesday, January 30th. If you want to participate at Bike Day at the Capitol and get your advocacy on, that would be 8 a.m. To 11 a.m. at the Capitol South Rotunda.
Excellent. And if someone happens to be listening to this podcast way beyond January 2024, where can they go learn more about the Iowa Bicycle Coalition?
That would be www.iowabicyclecoalition.org.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Luke. And I'm so looking forward to having some fun this weekend in Des Moines.
Me too. The only thing I forgot to mention, there's one more free thing. It's free will, actually. So we do have a VIP exile bus coming for a VIP space with comfortable couches. So you can come, hang out, get a beer for a free will donation to participate in that area. So that's something that's brand new.
Okay.
Forgot to mention one other free thing.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Luke.
Yep. Thank you so much, Murph. I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to your listeners again. Excited to see many of them in person. I hope they track me down and say hello at the expo and the Route Announcement Party. See y'all there.
Well, listeners, that is it for this week. We both want to thank you for tuning in to listen to the Just Go Bike podcast.
And if you'd like to contact us with a comment about the podcast, or maybe you have a topic in mind, you can reach us at justgobikepodcast@gmail.com, or you can also follow us on social media at Just Go Bike on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, especially if you're a fan. And if you have any extra time, pop on over to the Murphology podcast for more bike adventure interviews.
All right, that's a wrap. We'll be back next week. Until then, just go bike!